Nowadays, everyone's focused on Amazon, but the biggest opportunity in ecom today is Walmart, and I'm about to show you why. So there's 2 billion monthly visitors on Amazon, 1.9 million active sellers. On Walmart, there's 500 million monthly visitors and 200,000 active sellers. So some of y'all can see where this is going. 2 billion divided by 1.9 million, and we get the ratio of how many buyers there are to sellers. So in Amazon's case, for every one seller, there's 1,050 buyers. And then we do this for Walmart, 500 million divided by 200,000, we get a much higher ratio, 1 over 2,500. So, as many of you can understand, this is simple supply and demand economics. On Walmart, there's way more buyers compared to sellers, so you're able to charge a higher price with less competition. The downside is there is less monthly visitors. However, there's way more buyers compared to sellers, so it's still worth it. If you're selling on a listing that does 1,000 units a month on Amazon and it has 10 sellers selling at the same price, all prime, you can expect to sell 100 units. And on Walmart, you're selling on a listing that does 100, 200 units, and most likely it's just going to be you selling it because literally no one's taking advantage of this. So here's an example of this in action. Here we have this filtrate listing I used to sell on Amazon, selling for $13.73. My buy cost was just about $6. So as you can see, it doesn't even make money anymore. I was selling it way back here whenever it was actually profitable. But on Walmart, it's selling for $19.99. I know this looks counterintuitive, but this is another benefit of Walmart is they do these you save deals because they're trying to match Amazon's price. As you can see, that's exactly what this is doing, is it's matching Amazon's price, but the seller still gets the sale as if it was 1997. Okay, my actual buy cost was $6.02. Nonetheless, making $7 a unit. Whenever I was selling this, I was selling it for like $15.99. This was higher volume, but this did about 100 units a month. I was making so much more money that it didn't really matter. I could sell 100 units, make $700, and on Amazon to make $700, I'd sell 300 units or even more, 350 units. So you get the point I'm trying to make. And this isn't the same for every listing. You know, the world's not a perfect fucking place, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. But it does exist, and whoever's taking advantage of it is gonna have a huge lead over the competition because of what I'm about to get into here. So this chart right here is representing what percent of units on Amazon are sold by third-party sellers. As you can see nowadays, it's over 60%, which is awesome. More power to the people. And whenever I was digging into what percent of Walmart's units were sold by third-party sellers, the estimates varied between 33 and 47%. So that would put Walmart somewhere in this area. So 2012 to 2016 Amazon era. If Walmart continues with this trend, this is what their sales graph will look like. In 8 years, went from 25 billion to 150 billion. And we look at Amazon's chart, 25 billion was 2009, so almost 20 years ago. And then at the end, 2016, this is 8 years. If Walmart keeps up with this pace, which I already calculated year over year growth for these 8 year time periods, and Walmart's actually growing faster. So if Walmart keeps up with the same pace, in 10 years, they're going to be, doing $700 billion online, which is crazy because Walmart already does 500 billion plus in their stores. That's another huge thing that I can get into is if you look at this article, Walmart is starting to leverage their stores as basically last mile fulfillment centers. Walmart, I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure it's tens of thousands of stores. Over 90% of the US is within a 10-mile radius of a Walmart store. Think about if even half of those stores were holding third-party inventory. That is mind-boggling. They're going to be able to scale at a rate that has never been seen before in ecom. Now, you got to understand, I'm not saying Walmart is going to replace Amazon. That is not going to happen. But Walmart is going to be a huge player in the e-commerce space in the next decade. There's no denying it. It is happening before our eyes right now. And like I was saying once they go balls to the wall with utilizing stores as fulfillment centers, I honestly don't even know what to expect. It is going to be crazy. That is a type of coverage that I don't even think Amazon could compete with because Walmart has a bajillions of stores. And yeah, I'm still like 90% Amazon, 10% Walmart. But as you saw, probably 75% of my profit comes from Amazon, 25% comes from Walmart. So clearly it's beneficial to take advantage of Walmart. So yeah, hopefully I could give you all some knowledge. And yeah, if you want to learn directly from me, look at the link in the description and peace out.